So median for the group data now. So in this lecture, we will complete this median and mode, which will complete our topic of measure of central tendency. So if you recall, median is the central most value of the data. So if there are odd number of observation, then the middle one is the median. If there are even observation, then there are two in the middle. Two values are in the middle. So we take the midpoint of those two values, two middlemost values. But now for the group data, this look little strange, right? This is the formula for the median for group data. But don't worry, it's not that bad. N is still the same, n plus 1 by 2. If there are 5 observations, then 5 plus 1 by 2 will be 3. Then this capital X is the cumulative frequency, Fm is the frequency, Lm is the lower limit, W is the class width. Okay, but what is this M, Lm and Fm? Lm, Fm are median class. So it means first we have to figure out in which class the median lies, and then we will look for the median inside that. So first we decide about the class where the median will lie. Okay, so let me go step by step. So here, these are all the things: N, F, Fm, W, Lm. What is the median class? This is important. Median class is the class containing this item. You see, the definition of median is still the same. We said that median is n plus 1 by 2th item. So it means I will look in the class where this n plus 1 by 2th item will fall. Okay, so that will be my median class. So let's start with an example. It's exactly the same example which we considered for the mean, right? Median was 142.5. Mean was 142.5. Let's see what is the median. So for median class, I will calculate n plus 1 by 2th item. That is, what is your n? N is 600 because total number are 600. Summation f is 600. This one is your n, right? If you take the sum, this is n. So 600 plus 1 by 2 is 601 by 2, 300th item. Now what do you think? Where should be this 300th item be? In first class, there are 78 items. In next class, there are next 123 items. It means here I have to add them, right, to get this one. If I add 187 more, then I think I will get this 300th item here. You remember when we add the frequencies, what we call? We call it cumulative frequency. So let's calculate the cumulative frequency first. Cumulative frequency, this is the same. We add 123 and write it here. Then we add 187, we write it here. Then we add 82 and we write it here, and so on, right? So on, we keep on going. But now you see, up to 50, there are only 78 observations. Up to 100, there are 201 observations. But up to 150, there are 388 observations. It means 301.5th observation, because this was my median, right? N plus 1 by 2. So 3 plus 1, 301.5th item will lie in this class. Because if we look at this class, there are only 201 items in it. So 202 to 388 items are here. So it means 301 should lie here in this. That's how we find the median class. So we look this in the cumulative frequency. In the cumulative frequency, this is my median class. So let's write this as a median class. So this is my median class. Now I will get everything out of it. F is the frequency of previous. This is my F. Capital F is the cumulative frequency of previous class, preceding class. Okay. Fm is the frequency of the median class. So this is my Fm. Fm is 187. All right. Capital F is 201. Cumulative frequency of the previous class. Median frequency of the median class. Lm is the lower limit. This one, the lower limit of the median class. This is my Lm. Okay, and what is the width? W. W is the width of median class, which is 50, because every class has difference of 50. Every class has a interval of 50, width of 50. So that is fixed for everyone. Now you got everything. So we got F, we got FM, we got LM, W, and N, everything. Of course, the frequency will be given. Again, you see, there is no question of group data if the frequency is not given to you. Frequency distribution means classes with the frequency. If these two things are not given to you, of course, we cannot proceed. Who will tell us the frequency? Okay, so don't worry about that. If you are making a frequency distribution from a raw data, then you have to find the frequency. But if frequency distribution is given to you, it means the classes and frequencies will be given to you. Cumulative frequency you will find. You will find cumulative frequency first and then decide about median class. After deciding about median class, write all these things, F, FM, and LW. Now you put N is equal to 600, F as 201, FM as 187, W is 50, and LM is 100. Okay. So now if I put all these things, you see, N is 601, F is 201, plus 1 gives you 202, FM is 187, W is 50, and LM is 100. You don't have to put this dollar sign. Don't worry about this dollar sign, because these classes are given in dollars. That's why he's writing in dollars. Don't write dollars. At the end, when you will get the answer, with answer you can write dollars. Okay. So at the end, when we got the final answer, that is $126.35. And now you can see, is this in the median class or not? It has to be in the median class. If you made a mistake and you get your answer in some other class, in this class or in this class, it means you did it wrong. We decided that our median has to be in this class. So your answer will lie in this class. It has to be between 100 and 149. It has to be bigger than 100, because see, we started with 100. We are adding something in 100. It has to be bigger than 1. But you may miscalculate something here and you go above 150. If you go above 150, it will be wrong, because you are out of the median class. It cannot happen. All right. Doctor, please explain again how to get F and FM. Okay. Let me go back. You see here, if you read this one, you see, F is sum of all class frequencies up to but not including the median class. It means it is just before the median class. F is the cumulative, because it's a sum of frequencies, so it's a cumulative frequency before the median class. FM is the frequency of median class. Okay. LM is the lower limit of median class. So if I go back here, this is the median class. So let me write in the here how we got all these. This is my F, cumulative frequency of the previous median class. This is the median class, so before that, cumulative frequency before that. This is your FM, median frequency. It's a small f. Small f is frequency, capital F is cumulative frequency. Okay, and this 100 is your L, lower limit of the median class. Lower limit of the median class. And W is the width. Width is 50. We know that. Got it? Width is 50. Okay, so that's how we get F and FM. Okay. All right. So now going towards the mode. So when you will do a couple of examples on your own, you will see these are not difficult things. Do a couple of examples and you will be all set. If you have questions, if you have something, again, you can ask me in WhatsApp group or send me the questions. I will answer. No problem. Okay. So let's calculate the mode. Mode is the most repeated value. If some value is repeated, the most number of times, we will call it the mode. Sometimes it does not give us a very good measure of central tendency, and sometimes your data can have more than one mode. Let's say 2 is repeated 5 times, 7 is also repeated 5 times. It means both are the modes because both are most repeated. We call it bimodal data. Modes can be more than one. Median will be unique, mean will be unique. Mode can be more than one. It can be unimodal, means having one mode. It can be bimodal as well, having two modes, and it can have more than two modes as well. But let's say this one, it's a data which is arranged. 0 is repeated 2 times, 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. These are all repeated 2 times. 8 is not repeated, 12 and 19 is also not repeated, but 15 is repeated 3 times. So 15 is the most repeated number here. We will call it a mode. Okay. And now you see, it is not a very good measure. We are starting from 0 to 19. Average should be somewhere between, right? Something 6, 7 or 8, something like that. But 15 is a very bad measure of central tendency. Okay. But at least it gave us some information that 15 is most repeated value in the data. Okay. But this is also called the measure of central or measure of central tendency. For group data, it is little difficult, as was the case with median, because median also have lot of things. Now LMO means lower limit of the modal class, because we used M for the median class, so we are using MO for the modal class. So LMO means lower limit of a modal class. D1 frequency of the modal class minus the frequency of the class directly below it. We take the differences of the frequencies of previous class and the next class. Okay, and W is again the class interval. Now the question is, what is the modal class? We are saying that modal class, modal class, modal class. So the modal class is the class which has the maximum frequency, which has the highest frequency. Okay, modal class is the class with the most observation. Most observation means highest frequency, right? Largest frequency or highest frequency, you can call it. Most observation means whose frequency is the most. So let me go to the same example again. You see, same example which we considered for mean and median. Now you see, I'm not looking at a cumulative frequency. I'm directly looking at the frequency which will be given to you. So this frequency is the highest one, highest frequency. So this gives you the modal class. So modal class is also the same as the median class, because of course this is also the measure of center. So it has to be in the same class as well. Sometimes median class and modal class can be different as well. It's not a hard and fast rule that your both classes have to be the same. Sometimes classes are different as well, but most of the time they will be the same, because both give you the average values. So average values are closer to each other. Okay. So modal, so this 100 is my LM, lower frequency, lower limit of modal class. Okay. Now I don't want frequency. I want D1 and D2. Okay. So D1 is the difference between frequency of the modal class and frequency of the class below it. And D2 is the difference of modal class and the class below it. I think this is D1 and this is D2. Okay. Differences of above and below. Okay. So if you take the difference of these two, what will be the difference? D1 is 187 minus 123. Okay. D1 is 187 minus 123. So it is 64, right? It is 64. And D2 is 187 minus 82. Because both are smaller, both upper and lower frequencies has to be the smaller frequencies. Reason is highest frequency is the frequency of modal class. So both will be smaller. So we will subtract upper from this FM and lower from this FM. So this gives you 105. Okay. So this we will put here. So D1 was 84. I replace it here. D1 was 84. D2 was 105. So we replace D1, D1, D2. L model class is 100 and W is still 50 because it's the class width. Okay, so we simplify and we got 119. And see, 119 is still in the model class. It will not go out of the model class. Okay, any questions? W is the class width. W is the width. Width is the difference between any two classes. If you take the difference between any two classes, you see 200 and 250 is the W. So how many items are there in the class? There are 50 items from 100 to the last one, 149.9. Okay, so class interval is 50. Any other questions? All right. Sometimes your mean, median, and mode are equal. It's very rare, but there are some distributions whose mean, median, mode are exactly equal. If that is the case, we call the data symmetrical, a very symmetrical data whose mean, median, mode are exactly equal, like this. You see, this is a symmetrical data. You see, my mean, median, and mode, X bar, median, and mode are exactly in the middle, and they are all equal. Okay, so symmetrical means on both sides, on left and right of the median, my data is exactly the same, as if we have put a mirror here. If I put mirror in the center, both sides give me the same. This is the symmetrical. We call it symmetric. Symmetrical data has no skewness in it. Okay, we call it symmetrical. Symmetrical means no skewness. So if data is not symmetric, then we call it skewed. So skewness come when there is no symmetry. Okay, if there is no skewness, then it is symmetrical data. Very rare. But if mean, median, mode are not the same, then they are not symmetrical. You see, there is a tail on one side. There is a tail on one side. You see, there is a tail here, tail on the left side. We call it negatively skewed. Okay, see, negative, I put a negative sign. And if the tail is on the right, we call it positively skewed. Here tail is on the left, negatively skewed. Okay, negative tail, positive tail. So what happens, this mean is on the left and median is on the right. Here median is on the left and mode is on the right, so they are not equal. You see, mean, median, mode are not equal. Okay, you see, mode is the one with the highest frequency. You see, this is the highest frequency. Mode is the one with highest frequency. So median and mean go towards the tail. Median and mean go towards the tail. Here median and mean go towards the tail, but mean goes towards the tail faster than the median. Median is between them. So these two are skewed. We call them skewed. S-K-E-W-E-D. These are both skewed distribution, not symmetrical. This is left skewed, which has the left tail, left skewed, and this is right skewed. Okay, which has tail on the right. But we don't say that these are the tails. No, because when it is perfectly symmetrical, we call it symmetrical, has no tails. We don't call them tails. Okay, tail is only on one side, so you will get tail when it is skewed. So this is the interpretation of the data based on mean, median, and mode. Many times I ask students in the homeworks as well as exams, find mean, median, and mode of the data. After finding, comment on the data. And people are worried, what is comment on the data? What can we say about the data? Based on mean, median, mode, the comment on the data is whether they are symmetrical or not. So if all three are equal to each other, we will call them symmetrical. And if they are not equal, then we will see whether median is greater than mean or mean is greater than median. According to that, we will say that, okay, it has a right tail or a left tail. All right. So this will give you a proper indication when to obtain median and when to obtain mode. Okay, these are three different situations when mean, median, and mode are more appropriate. Okay, selecting an appropriate measure of center. Let's say you are doing something. I'm not asking you anything. You collected data. Maybe you were doing some project at the end of the degree. Okay, you collected data of the engineers or data of the buildings or whatever, or machine data for mechanical engineers, right? You collect data, right? You put something on experiment and you keep on reading the data. You collected the data and now you are playing with it. And you want to find the average. Now you have to ask yourself a question. Okay, we studied three types of averages: mean, median, and mode. What is the most appropriate? Okay, then you can ask yourself a question where we sit. Most of the time, median gives you the answer. Okay, most of the time, mean gives you the answer. Mean is the most commonly used measure. But sometimes, if you want to get more information, you calculate all three. You can calculate all three. No one is stopping you there. But these are three situations which will give you some idea when mean is more appropriate, when median is more appropriate, and when mode is more appropriate. So first example is a student takes 4 exams in biology class. His grades are 88, 75, 95, and 100. Which measure of center is student likely to report? Of course, when you like your GPAs, when you calculate your GPAs, you calculate the mean. You add up all GPAs, all your marks, and divide by the number of courses, number of credit hours, right? So if you got, for example, here you take quizzes, homeworks, midterm, and final, but your final score is the average of all these things, right? And we do not calculate median, the middlemost value, or we did not calculate the mode, the most repeated value. No, you have to add all of them. Why? Because you want contribution from everything. Median and mode do not give you the contribution from each value. Mean gives you the contribution from each value. Because your homeworks, assignments, midterm, final are very important. You put effort in all of them. So you have to add all of them and give the final score. All right. The second example for median is the National Association of Realtors. Realtors are the people who do real estate agents. Real estate agents are those who buy and sell houses and shops, okay, or give on rent, right? So these are the people who give you, who can find you the buildings on rents, the houses for rents, or buy and sell, buying and selling of the houses or shops like that. Those are called realtors. They publish data on the resale prices of US homes. Resale. So which measure of center is most appropriate for such resale prices? Okay, then you go for middlemost value. Let's say you, in the Buremi, you did some survey. Some houses on rent were like close to 100, some were close to 200 reals, some were in between, right? You will say that, okay, the middle value is almost 150 reals for a villa here in Buremi. Okay, you pick the middlemost value and we'll tell you. Now the customer also know that it will not be exactly 150, depending on the houses. Maybe it is close to 200, or maybe it is close to 100 if it is a very old house, right? So you just give them the idea by picking up the middlemost value of your all the data. So here mean is also fine. All right, median is also fine, not the mean. The third example is in some marathon. Boston is a city in America. In 2009, there was a marathon which is called 2009 Boston Marathon. Marathon is a long race, right? A Boston Marathon had two categories of official finishers, male and female. Okay, of which there were 13,547 males and 9,302 females. All right, which measure of center should be used here? The most number of repeated values, right? How many people finished the race? You are not, why we are saying finish the race? Because marathon are a very long races, and not all participants can finish the race. Some people leave it at the beginning, some people leave it in the middle because they cannot run for 8 or 10 kilometers. It's a very long race, right? Usually these are like 50 kilometers as well, very long marathons. So not all people can finish. So what you did is you only saw people who finished and people who did not finish. So which is the most repeated number of finishers? Okay, you will give them as a mode. These many males finish the race, these many females. So you are calculating, you are counting them. You are counting number of males and females. So whenever you count number of your appearances, number of appearances, this is the mode. We are not looking at the middle value, we are not adding up all the values. So it's not a mean, it's not a median, so it is a mode. All right, so these are few examples which give you idea of mean, median and mode. You can google it, search on the mean, median, mode questions, you can get more examples like this. Okay, so that's it. This is another example given. You can find all these things, mean, median, mode, on this example. Again, you see the classes as well as the frequency is given to you, right? So it's a frequency distribution, so you can calculate mean, median, mode and see whether you understood it or not. Okay, so if you have any questions, you can send me your solve problem as well, or if you are stuck somewhere, just take the picture of that part and say, Mr. I'm stuck here, and can you tell me how to proceed? All right, or if you have any doubts, you can discuss it later on. All right, guys, if you have any questions, you can ask, otherwise I stop here. Any questions or queries? If not, then I can stop here, and I will upload these both videos on YouTube and send you the links as well. People who are not present, they will also be able to see, and you can also, when you are solving problems, you can of course go through these videos again and keep my PowerPoint slides in front of you and try to solve your questions. All right, guys, good night. Have a nice time. See you soon with the next lecture. Bye.